Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jordan, the Senior Marketing Manager here at LiberNovo. Have you ever wondered how our products are made? Today we're going to take you into the factory and give you a behind the scenes look. All right, follow me. The LiberNovo factory currently has nearly 200 employees, including about 40 members of the R&D team. Every day, the factory produces around 1,100 ergonomic chairs. Now, before we head in, we have to put on some protective gear. So we're going to throw on one of these cool yellow jackets. And these jackets prevent you from bringing dust inside, and they prevent any static from your clothing as well. And then we get to put on one of these very stylish yellow caps. Let me just zip up my jacket here. And then we'll put on a set of disposable shoe covers as well, just to make sure that you're not tracking in any dirt or dust from outside. All right, now before we move on, we're gonna take an air shower. This is a chamber that uses high pressure air to remove any dust or excess particles off your clothes, and it's a key step in maintaining a dust-free environment for manufacturing. Let's go. This is the semi-automatic injection molding area. This is the first part of our production process and where every component of our chair takes shape. This machine is currently molding LiberNovo's main back support frame. It uses a 6-stage process that adjusts temperature, pressure, and holding intervals in order to ensure that the back piece comes out in one solid piece. Look at that, a baby LiberNovo is born. So once the component has been molded and it's complete, it gets picked up by a robotic arm and then dropped onto this conveyor belt that you see behind me. After that, it gets sent upstairs for the first process of inspection. Now we're in the inventory area for all the chair's components. Every part of the LiberNovo is counted and registered here in our digital system. Okay, so this is LiberNovo's production floor, and behind me on this screen, we have the daily production plan. From here, our assembly line is divided into 4 sections: the rear support frame, the neck rest, the backrest, the seat and armrest. The line is designed as a modular cable routing system. Different branches come together for each part of the chair. This section here is assembling LiberNovo's backrest. The material we use is glass fiber reinforced nylon. Unlike aluminum, which is more rigid, this material is durable, it's strong, but it still is much more flexible. So because it's able to flex and adapt to your movement, you get a much more comfortable and smoother sitting experience. Okay, so behind me now is the neck support assembly line. Take this back cover plate, for example. Once it arrives here, it's ready to go through a series of assembly steps. The process starts by using screws to secure its structure. Then a layer of lubricant is applied to make sure that all the moving parts operate smoothly. After that, the headrest shaft and sliding module are installed, followed by the height adjustment rod. So this is the final step of the neck rest assembly line. You can see that the rotation and the sliding motions are both smooth and effortless. And from here, it's ready to go. Behind me, they'll install it onto a chair and it'll move on for final inspection. Once all the components have come together and the chair is fully assembled, the next step is to take it into the soundproof testing room. Here we're going to test the chair for function, noise control, and overall user experience. So now we're in LiberNovo's soundproof testing room. Can you hear that? Can't hear anything at all in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the entire process that every chair goes through to make sure that it's working properly. Now, the first thing we do before we start the process is make sure that the chair is set to its maximum height. So the first part of the chair we're going to inspect is the neck support. We're going to test that it can go up and down easily and doesn't get stuck or move by itself. The forward and backward motion is smooth and easy to do. And then the last thing is that the angle is correct as well. So what we're doing is we're checking that everything is smooth and it's not making any unexpected noises. Okay, so after we're done inspecting the neck support, the next thing we're going to look at is the armrest. What we're looking at is that it can slide forward and backwards smoothly, but it still has enough resistance that it doesn't move on its own. And then that you can adjust the width out and in. You can use the angle so it turns inwards and outwards. And then it has different height settings. So we want to make sure it locks at every single one and doesn't move unexpectedly. And then the last thing we look at is we want to make sure that if we push it backwards like this, it comes forward by itself. So this is so that when you recline, it's able to follow you as well. The next step in our inspection is to check the different recline settings. And this chair has 4. So the first one, you set the lever here and it's 105 degrees. What we're looking for is that it locks in place and doesn't go anywhere past where it's supposed to. Then we check the next one, 120 degrees, and then 135 degrees. And finally, we test the last one, 160 degrees. So I can lay all the way back. And you can see this chair is working exactly as it's supposed to. Once we know that all 4 of the settings lock in place properly, we will repeat the sit and recline motion several times to make sure that everything is stable and quiet. So now that we know that all the recline settings are working properly, we can kick our feet up, press this button here on the armrest, and that will engage the Omni Stretch function. And what we're testing for is that the motor is moving smoothly with no unexpected vibrations or sounds, and that everything is working as it's supposed to. So next, we're going to test these buttons on the armrest here, make sure that they're functioning properly. And we're going to press this one to adjust the motor on the back. We want to make sure it's working smooth and it's very responsive. And then this one is going to push it backwards. And you can see here when I press the buttons, the motor is responsive and working as it's supposed to. All right. So here we go, that's ready to go. Moving on to the next part, we're going to inspect this tension knob here. So we're going to turn it and make sure that it's turning smoothly and that it stays in when you go to pull it. And then after that, we're going to check the battery. It should come out with a click, just like that. And when you put it in, it should click back into place as well. Okay, so this chair has passed the function and noise control inspection. Now we're going to take it outside, do one last visual inspection before we go to packaging. Let's go. So now we're at the visual inspection area. And what we're doing here is we're thoroughly examining every chair for any color variations, scratches, or surface damage. We make sure every chair is perfect. After the chairs have passed all the inspections, they come here where they're first disassembled and then packaged for delivery. The team first removes the temporary pins used during testing, then carefully separates the chair into individual modules. Each part is packed securely to make sure it arrives in perfect condition. At this stage, the chair is officially ready to ship. From injection molding to inspection and assembly, every step has been carefully checked to make sure that your chair arrives in perfect condition. All right, so now you've seen the whole process from injection molding to inspection and packaging. Stay tuned for more behind the scenes looks and real user stories from LiberNovo. See you next time.